Hello and good evening students and welcome back to Global Online Platform. This is Chandni Swarnakar and today we are going to cover Harold Pinter. Okay, so he's a very prominent writer when it comes to postmodern writers. Okay, so it's very important for us to cover each and each details related to Harold Pinter. Now you can get my lectures at 8 p.m. on daily basis. But before diving into the video, let me share that there is a great opportunity to prepare smartly for the April 2024 Maharashtra SET. Global Online is offering a comprehensive English literature course. You'll have access to video lectures that explain concepts using short and effective methods. The course also provides downloadable PDF notes for your convenience. Additionally, you'll get mock tests that stimulate a real exam condition, boosting your final preparation. To learn more, reach out to the provided contact number. Now, if you want to watch free videos, first download the Global Online app. Once you are in, head to the store section. There you'll find details of all the courses. Use the search bar to directly type in the course name and you'll see an overview along with the fees for the duration. Click on the content section and you'll find unit-wise folders. In each unit, you'll get theory lectures, evaluation, notes, mock tests and MCQs. No need for extra reading. Now, if you decide to join the paid course, you'll also be added to a WhatsApp group. In that group, you'll receive PDFs for each session along with the videos links. It's a great way to stay connected and get additional resources. And happy learning. Okay? Moving on to our main topic, Harold Pinter. So, Harold Pinter is a very prominent writer. He was a British playwright, screenwriter, director and actor, name it, and he is the one. Okay, so he contributed in several genres, we will see, but he is very famous for plays. Okay, now Harold Pinter was born in 1930 and died in 2008, very recently, 2008. Okay. He won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2005. So, before 3 years, he actually won the Nobel Prize. And it's very important for you to remember the date, the year, okay? And as I told you, he was a British playwright, screenwriter, director and actor, right? Now, let's cover, as we know that the works of prominent writers are very important for us to cover. So, the first work is The Room, okay? The Room. It's a first play. Do remember, The Room is the first play of Harold Pinter, written and first produced in 1957. When? In 1957. It was written in 1957. It was also first produced in 1957. Okay, and it's a very good example of comedy of menace. And whenever they'll ask you that which is the first play of Harold Pinter, you'll say The Room. Okay, don't get confused. Now, moving on, The Room is a tragicomedy and a lot of works comes under this category, tragicomedy. And so one act play. Do remember which play has 1 act, 2 act or 3 act. Do remember that information. Okay, that revolves around a man named Mr. Kid. It's not Kid. Okay, it has double D. So, do remember that it revolves around a man named Mr. Kid who lives in a seemingly ordinary room. Just imagine your room. Do you have an ordinary room or a fashionable room or fancy room? How about mine? I have a good room. Okay. So, it actually named around basically it revolves around a man named Mr. Kid who lives in a seemingly ordinary room. That is it you need to remember here. Okay, the second work is The Birthday Party. And don't be like, stop thinking about your birthday. It's about a work, The Birthday Party, written by Harold Pinter. It's a play and it is a first full-length play. Okay, first full-length play of Harold Pinter is The Birthday Party. Okay, it was published after 2 years of The Room and it is published in 1959. Okay, and it also classified as a comedy of menace. So you will see a lot of works comes under this. He said about this particular work, I remember writing the big interrogation scene in a dressing room in Leicester. Okay, so while actually he was publishing this particular work, he said this statement, I remember writing the big interrogation scene in a dressing room in Leicester. Now, remember this statement. Okay, moving on. The birthday party basically revolves around Stanley Weber, the main character, okay, and who is living in a seaside boarding house run by Meg and Pitte. So Pitte balls. So Meg and Pitte is living somewhere, and Stanley Fish, Stanley Fish is the writer's name. Stanley Weber came into their lives, and but the play all of a sudden became very mysterious when two sinister strangers, Goldberg and McCann, arrived to celebrate Stanley's birthday. And Stanley was very much confused that whether it's my birthday or not. He was confused about his birthday. Just imagine that. But Goldberg and McCann was very suspicious throughout the play. Okay, and like this, the novel basically play progresses, and you'll see the absurdity. The you will feel what is basically happening, what the writer wants to do here. Okay, so this is the basic information, and the characters are: first, Pitte, a man in his 60s, Meg, wife of course, a man in her 60s, Stanley is the main character, a man in his late 30s, Lulu is a girl in her early 20s. These are the characters, along with Goldberg, a man in his 50s, and McCann, a man of 30. These are the characters, and you need to remember these characters. Goldberg and McCann, you probably got it because I have already discussed that. Lulu is a new character. You will get it. Read it once, twice, thrice, you'll get it. Okay. So the third work is The Dumb Waiter. The Dumb Waiter. Now, it was actually came in 1957, and it's a one-act play, and the whole play revolves around two hitmen, Ben and Gush. They were actually waiting in a basement room for their next assignment, okay? But the play unfolds as they engage in seemingly mundane conversations, revealing tension and absurdity in their interactions. But there is a thing that changed everything. A dumb waiter in the room periodically delivers mysterious food orders, adding to the sense of unease. Like the whole play becomes very absurd. Okay, the perfect word we can use here. So do remember the plot line, what is happening here, and who are the characters. So do remember this much information. That is it for you. Now the fourth work is The Caretaker. The Caretaker. It came in 1960, and it's a tragicomedy. I told you earlier as well. A play that revolves around three characters. Okay, who are the characters? Like Aston, Davish, and Meek. Okay, so Aston, a quiet and introverted man. How are you? Like what kind of personality you have? I think I have an ambivert kind of personality, introvert and extrovert, all at the same time, depending on the situation. Okay, so now offer shelters to Davis. Okay, Aston is taking shelter to Davis' place, who is a very homeless and eccentric individual. So just imagine the absurdity. The plot unfolds within Aston's cluttered room. Okay, so Davis was homeless, and Aston had a room, but very cluttered room, okay, where the dynamics between the character became increasingly complex. And there's another character, Meek, Aston's brother. As tension to the story, as its tension towards Davis remains ambiguous, because when you read the play, you will realize that what Meek wanted to do, it's not clear. It has he had ambiguous intentions towards Davis, okay. So you'll get confused. The whole plot line you don't need to remember. You need to remember the characters' names and who are who. Okay, do that. Do remember that. Moving on to the next fifth work, basically The Lover. It came in 1962, and it also has one act. It is one act play. Okay. Now play explores themes of love. Basically, the title itself is very self-explanatory, desire and the complexities of human relationships. Okay, so the story revolves around a married couple. The married couple are Richard and Sarah, okay, who seem to live a conventional life during the day, but Like all of a sudden you're having a very general life, genuine, casual life, normal life, but all of a sudden something happens and everything changes. But here, what is the main thing, interesting thing is, but engage in unconventional or secretive behavior at night, okay? As the play unfolds, it becomes evident that both Richard and Sarah have extramarital affairs with different partners. And the surprising part is they are okay with it. Like both of them are okay with it. However, what sets their arrangement apart in the mutual consent and acceptance of their infidelity. Like they accepted it. The couple uses role playing and elaborate scenarios to spice up their love life, blurring the lines between reality and fantasy. They blurred it, like what is reality, what is fantasy. You'll get confused, okay, well, you'll read the play. And they actually uses role playing, and they were okay with the infidelity they were doing, and they were okay with the affairs, each other's affairs. Quite interesting. So this is the plot line. And the sixth work is The Homecoming. It came in 1964. It has 2 acts. Okay, it's a 2-act play. The characters are Max. This is how you'll remember Max. So maximum act is there, right? Max, Lenny, Sham, Joe, Teddy, and Ruth. Right. And moving on. So see the plot line. Play that revolves around the return of Teddy, a professor, to his family home in North London with his wife Ruth. Okay. Basically, the whole story revolves around the return of Teddy with his wife. Okay, with his wife Ruth. But what happens here? The interesting, and you will also feel the patriarchy here. The family dynamics take a peculiar tone when Ruth becomes the center of attention, because they were only men. Okay, then Ruth came, who is Teddy's wife. Okay, now the whole attention becomes the center, like she is the center. Okay, and the power struggles within the family intensify, like it increases. And Teddy's family consists of his father Max and his brother Lenny and his uncle Joe. I told you that they were only men. The atmosphere becomes increasingly tense as Ruth's presence disrupts the established order. Like they have already established an order. When Ruth came, a woman, and everyone giving her attention and things like that. So actually, Ruth disordered everything. Okay, so they were very tense. The tense environment flourished. Now, the characters engage in a psychological power play, revealing hidden desires and suppressed emotions. So eventually, they were like they engaged in a psychological power play. They didn't even realize earlier that they do have hidden desires and suppressed emotions, but eventually they are coming out. So the title, The Homecoming, takes on a dual meaning, like it has dual meaning. How? As it refers not only to Teddy's physical return, but also to the psychological and emotional homecoming of the characters. Because earlier it was like, okay, I'm living like that, because there were no women in the house, right? But Ruth's character changed everything. Ruth's role becomes enigmatic as she navigates the complex dynamics, and her interactions with the male characters takes on a provocative tone. Okay, so a lot of things changes. But the only point here is you need to remember the character's name and the plot line basically. And if you really, if you think that you are interested in the play, do read it once. You'll get to know a lot of things, and you will also feel some sense of attachment to it. Okay. Now, the 7th work is The Basement. Okay. So do remember the title only. Then there are No Man's Land. Okay, and 9th work is Moonlight, and it reminds me of me, Chandni. Okay, and the 10th work is Celebration, and you just need to remember here the plot revolves around 3 couples. Okay, dining the most expensive restaurant in town. Have you ever been in such restaurant? Do ask yourself and do think about it. Okay, so celebration, you celebrate there, right? We usually go in expensive restaurant to celebrate our birthdays or some our favorite people's birthdays or anything like that. So do remember this plot line with this title relating to your own things. Okay, now we have completed today's lecture. We'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you very much. And if you have any suggestion, you can comment down. Thank you.